A plane lifts off from a runway that officially does not exist. Within minutes, it climbs higher than any military aircraft in the world. The United States government will spend the next 58 years refusing to admit where this happened. Here's how it unfolded. The story begins in 1953, inside the Pentagon and the newly formed Central Intelligence Agency. Soviet advances in nuclear weapons and long-range bombers have created a critical intelligence gap. American planners have no reliable way to see deep inside Soviet territory. Spy planes flying at conventional altitudes are being shot down or intercepted, and the risk of provoking a shooting war grows with every mission.
Lockheed's Skunk Works division, led by aeronautical engineer Clarence Kelly Johnson, proposes a radical solution. Build a glider-like aircraft that can fly above 70,000 feet, beyond the reach of Soviet interceptors and missiles. CIA Director Alan Dulles approves the project in November 1954. It is given the designation U-2, a name chosen deliberately to disguise its true purpose as a simple utility aircraft. There was only one problem. An aircraft this secret cannot be built, tested, or flown anywhere near a public airfield. Finding the right design was only half the challenge. Now, the CIA needs somewhere to hide it completely. Johnson's team scouts the Nevada desert by air, searching for flat, isolated terrain far from roads, towns, or prying eyes. They identify a dry lake bed called Groom Lake, roughly 90 miles north of Las Vegas. The clay surface is hard-packed and naturally flat, ideal for an improvised runway. Mountain ranges on nearly every side block the site from outside view. The location has one more advantage. It sits inside the Nevada test site, already used by the Atomic Energy Commission for atomic weapons testing. Existing nuclear restrictions already keep civilians, journalists, and hikers away from the region. By building inside this zone, the CIA inherits a security perimeter without ever having to explain why.
President Dwight D. Eisenhower personally authorizes the annexation of additional land in 1955, quietly expanding the restricted area by thousands of acres. No public announcement accompanies the decision. On paper, the expansion is filed as a routine adjustment to an existing test range. In reality, it clears the ground for one of the most secretive construction projects in American history. Construction begins in July of 1955. Workers are flown in on unmarked aircraft from Burbank, California, and told only that they are heading to a location called Paradise Ranch, a name designed to make the barren desert sound inviting. There is no running water at first. Nighttime temperatures drop near freezing, while daytime heat climbs past 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Every worker signs strict secrecy agreements before arrival. Crews build a 5,000-foot runway, a control tower, fuel storage tanks, and simple wooden barracks. Nobody outside the project knows the base exists. Even families of the workers are told nothing beyond a mailing address and a vague description of government work. By August of 1955, the first U-2 airframe arrives by truck, disassembled and hidden beneath tarps. Test pilot Tony Levere prepares for a routine taxi test on August 4. During the test, the aircraft unexpectedly lifts into the air, becoming airborne well before anyone intended. The official first flight follows within days, confirming that Kelly Johnson's radical design actually works. Over the following months, engineers refine the aircraft's engines, camera systems, and pressurized suits needed for near-space conditions. But secrecy creates an unexpected complication. Civilian pilots and airline crews occasionally spot the U-2 glinting at extreme altitude, its silver frame catching sunlight in ways no ordinary aircraft can at that height. Between 1955 and 1957, U.S. intelligence agencies quietly determined that more than half of all reported UFO sightings in the country trace directly back to these secret test flights. The government does not correct the record. Silence, in this case, protects the program better than any explanation could. By mid-1956, the U-2 becomes fully operational. On July 4th, 1956, pilot Carl Overstreet flies the program's first mission into Soviet airspace, photographing military installations near Leningrad and Moscow. The images reveal bomber counts and missile sites that reshape American strategic planning for years to come. For 4 more years, U-2 flights continue deep into Soviet territory, almost entirely undetected. Then,
On May 1st, 1960, everything changes. A Soviet surface-to-air missile strikes a U-2 piloted by Francis Gary Powers near Sverdlovsk. Powers survives, is captured, and is later paraded in a televised trial in Moscow. President Eisenhower is forced to publicly admit the existence of American overflights, an admission that shocks both nations. Yet even now, one detail remains untouched. The location where the aircraft was built and tested is never named. Referred to internally only by coordinates, the base is later nicknamed Area 51, after its designation on old Atomic Energy Commission zone maps. Officially, the United States government continues to say nothing at all. Over the following decades, Area 51 expands to test additional classified aircraft, including the A-12 Oxcart and early stealth prototypes. Public curiosity grows into legend, fueled entirely by silence rather than evidence. The less the government says, the larger the mystery becomes in the public imagination. Finally, in August of 2013, the CIA releases a declassified history of the U-2 program. For the first time, the document names Area 51 directly and confirms its role in Cold War reconnaissance. Many operational details remain classified to this day, and the full scope of what happened there may never be public. The runway that officially did not exist became one of the most famous places on Earth, proof that sometimes the greatest secrets survive not by being hidden, but by never being explained at all.